Welcome to Non-Fil Flicks. We have for you some of the top trending stories making headlines from Nigeria. But before we go into the details, let's first see what's making headlines. FG says 1.89 trillion naira to wipe out malaria. Polytechnic lecturers reject FG's offer, continue strike. ICPC pegs recovery at 1.1 billion naira in the first quarter. CAN condemns killing, abduction in Kaduna State. 319,755 benefit from FG support scheme. SARAP says missing $30 million Safe School Fund should be probed. Southeast governors, others meet behind closed doors. Lagos to take over corruption cases from the Efcc. Fayose says Nigerians determined to sack APC come 2023. Over 1 billion naira worth of counterfeit products destroyed in Kano State. Soyinka tells federal government, swallow your vain pride, seek help. NTDC reports 0 death in 12 consecutive days. Troops raid Benue monarch's palace. PRRS threatens imprisonment for officials mounting illegal checkpoints. Many feared dead as Boko Haram burns military base in Borno State. And now to the news in detail. I am Valerie Aligbe. First on our lineup, the Minister of Health, Osage Hanire, says the federal government would spend 1.89 trillion naira to wipe out malaria in Nigeria. According to him, about 1.89 trillion naira was specifically needed for the implementation of the new strategic plan on malaria. In a text to commemorate the World Malaria Day, Hanire appeals to corporate organizations, the private sector, and patriotic Nigerians to offer the country a bailout with a view to achieving its target of wiping out malaria. He said the goal was to achieve a parasite prevalence of less than 10% and reduce mortality attributable to malaria to less than 50 deaths per 1,000 live births by the year 2025. Polytechnic lecturers say they will continue with their ongoing strike despite the promise by the federal government to release about 15 billion naira to them for infrastructural revitalization. According to the national president of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUB, Anderson Ezebe, the strike will be sustained until the grey details in the offer were sorted out in the coming weeks. Ezebe further noted that 2 out of 3 scheduled meetings with the federal government were held and some of the demands met, including the release of 10-month salary arrears for members, among others, stating further that the demands met also included a reconstitution and inauguration of the Governing Council of all federal polytechnics, which were dissolved in the year 2020. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, says that over 1.1 billion naira was forfeited to the federal government between January and March 2021. According to the chairman of the commission, the anti-graft agency also seized 5 plots of land, 13 businesses, 29 buildings, 1 vehicle, and 5 farms during the period under review, stating further that 3 cases were filed in 2020, while only 11 cases had been filed between January and March 2021, securing 26 convictions in 2020 and 4 convictions in the first quarter of 2021. In response, the chairman of the Senate committee commended the anti-graft agency for its achievement so far, assuring the ICPC that the Senate was ready to give the agency the necessary support in order to do more. The Kaduna State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria has condemned Sunday's killing and abduction of church worshippers at Haske Baptist Church, Mani Kuriga, in Chikun local government area of the state. The bandits in large numbers were said to have invaded the church at about 9 a.m. when Sunday service was going on and shot indiscriminately at worshippers, killing 1 and abducting scores of them. A medical doctor with the State Ministry of Health, Zachariah Dogo Taro, was shot dead. Reacting, Kaduna CAN, through its secretary, Caleb Maji, condemned the attack, noting that the organization was saddened by the sorry state of the security situation in the country and, in particular, Kaduna State, urging the government to talk less and act more before citizens resort to self-help. The federal government has stated that so far, about 319,755 Nigerians have been supported under the Economic Sustainability Plan Survival Fund payroll support. According to the federal government, the next batch of beneficiaries under the scheme and the one-off general MSME grant of 50,000 naira are expected to be paid this week. The senior special assistant to the vice president on media and publicity, Laolu Akande, disclosed that this week's payment is expected to increase the number of beneficiaries under the payroll support track, which is estimated to save not less than 1.3 million jobs across the country and specifically impact over 35,000 individuals per state. In the same vein, he added that under the Artisan Support Scheme, a total of 333,000 artisans and transport business operators nationwide will get a one-time operations grant of 30,000 naira per beneficiary to reduce the effects of the income loss due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami San and appropriate anti-corruption agencies to investigate allegations that $30 million of safe school funding is missing, mismanaged or diverted, and to bring to justice anyone suspected to be involved as well as recover any missing money. SERAP said this following the news of the death of 3 students of Greenfield University, Kaduna, who were killed by bandits who stormed their school and abducted them along with their colleagues. According to the organization, the allegations of corruption in the spending of $30 million of safe school funds undermine the safety and security of Nigerian children in schools and deny access of poor children to quality education in a safe environment because the money that the government should be spending to provide safe schools for Nigerian children has been squandered or stolen. The Southeast governors met with leaders of the religious, traditional, socio-political institutions in the zone in a closed-door session at the government house in Enugu. According to local sources, the governors summoned the meeting following the heightened tension in the Southeast zone, occasioned by the report of northern traders in Enugu state attacking police and government officials with AK-47 rifles, blocking the Enugu-Port Harcourt road and racing down about 10 vehicles, including police patrol vans. We recall that combined military police, DSS, killed the commander of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, security outfit Eastern Security Network ESN, Ikonta, and 6 other IPOB members when they raided the hideout in the early hours of Saturday morning. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has signed a new law requiring the Efcc, the ICPC, and other anti-graft agencies to turn over corruption cases to the state government. According to the Lagos State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission law signed by Sanwo-Olu last week, a new anti-corruption body will have exclusive powers to investigate financial crimes and corruption cases affecting the Lagos State government finances. According to the law, the commission shall have the power to investigate any person or administrative action taken by any ministry, department, agency or parastatal of the state government or any local government, any offence under the criminal law of the state in relation to corruption and financial crimes, abuse of office, offences relating to the administration of justice, obtaining by false pretenses, cybercrime, fake news, interception of emails, and fraudulent dealings with property debtors. The Commission is also barred from investigating cases that are pending before the Lagos State House of Assembly, the Lagos State Executive Council, or any court of law, as well as corruption cases involving members of the Nigeria Police Force and the armed forces, except acts of corruption committed by them as private individuals. A former Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, has decried the worsening insecurity across the country. In a statement issued by his media aide, Larry Olayinka, the ex-governor said the killing of Nigerians in many parts of the country has made the citizens more resolute in their resolve to send the APC packing from the central government come 2023. He also slammed the presidency for defending and sympathizing with the terrorists. Fayose described the security situation in the country as appalling and urged Nigerians to restrict their movements so as not to fall victims to the criminal elements wreaking havoc in many parts of the country. The Kano state government says it has destroyed over 1 billion naira worth of fake products confiscated from marketers. According to Governor Umar Ganduje, the seizure is part of the fight against illicit drugs, addiction, and the sale of counterfeit products in the state. Ganduje said the state's Consumer Protection Council, CPC, confiscated 402 tons of substandard, fake, adulterated, expired, and unwholesome products in 3 months. Speaking during the destruction of the items, the governor said the seizure of such a quantity of fake items was a clear indication that his administration will not relent in its efforts to ensure that the state is free from illicit products and also drug abuse amongst the youth. Elder statesman Wole Soyinka has advised the President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government to swallow its pride and seek help to curb the senseless killings in the country. The playwright, in a statement, the endless martyrdom of the youth, noted that the nation was at war, yet all continued to pretend that the oddities were mere birth pangs of a glorious entity. The Nobel laureate was reacting to incessant student abductions in the country, particularly in the north, where 3 of 23 kidnapped students of Greenfield University, Kaduna State, were killed by the bandits on Friday. The playwright said he grieved with the bereaved, but mourned even more for the country's youth so routinely sacrificed, burdened with uncertainty and traumatized beyond youth's capacity to cope. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has reported 51 new cases of COVID-19 infections and 0 deaths at the last account. According to the NCDC, Saturday became the 12th consecutive day that the nation recorded no fatality from the virus that caused over 2,000 deaths in Nigeria and 3 million deaths globally since the pandemic began. The NCDC said till date, 164,684 cases have been confirmed, 154,687 discharged, and 2,061 deaths recorded in 36 states, as well as the FCT, stating further that the country's active cases stands at about 9,000. Troops of Operation World Stroke, OPWS, have reportedly uncovered arms and ammunition at the palaces of His Royal Highness Otambe Adza and Teran Kwagbo from Okum local government area of Benue State. It was gathered that while the former was arrested, the latter escaped with AK-47 rifles through the back door of his palace when soldiers stormed the palace on Saturday. Military sources disclosed that 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 magazine, 20 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 1 locally made mortar tube, and 1 vehicle were recovered from Otambe Adza's residence. Force Commander of the OPWS, Brigadier General Clement Apere, has so far declined to comment, saying he can't speak on operations yet to be concluded. The chairman of Plateau State Internal Revenue Service, PSIRS, Alat Dashi, has said revenue collectors found to be mounting illegal checkpoints in the state will face up to 1 year imprisonment under the new revenue law. Dashi said under the new law, anyone who aids, abets, counsels, or induces another person to commit an offense under the tax law is liable to conviction to a fine equivalent to 400% of the sum in question and imprisonment for 1 year. He challenged the leaderships of the MDAs and LGAs to study, understand, and apply the law so as not to run afoul of it. Many residents of Mainok in Borno State and men of the Nigerian army are feared dead after Boko Haram insurgents attacked the community on Sunday. According to news reports, the terrorists, who came in no fewer than 15 gun trucks, burnt down the military super camp in the community. Some houses and shops were also destroyed by the gunmen. The military authorities have not yet issued an official statement on the attack. The latest attack is coming a few days after the insurgents attacked Gaidam, the headquarters of Gaidam local government area of Yobe State and hometown of the acting Inspector General of Police, Baba Alkali. And with that, we come to the end of our lineup for today. Many thanks to you for joining us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss our next bulletin. From us to you, do have a blissful week ahead and stay safe.